Good morning, all you Uber-Dubers. Right, lot to go through this week actually. This week's video is in line with the newsletter dated the 14th of the 7th 2016. So, you know, we'll get cracking. As I said, there's a lot been happening. Tuesday we had we went to an event on in Digbeth where we met the GM. You know, what have I learned from it? Basically nothing really, to be honest with you. You know, probably waste of time really, I would say. I think they also watched my last video, because I did mention that they were offering just tea and biscuits and nothing else. But middle of the week, you know, we had an email saying, you know, we're going to give you some pizzas as well at the same time. So, you know, I think that worked, the last video. Anyway, as I said, I don't think I've learned anything from it. Actually, I did learn something from it, that if you go half an hour later, which I did, all the pizza would have been gone. So, you know, that's what I've learned from going there. Well, they've also had on Friday they had a ice cream giveaway. I think they sent an email to all the riders, and probably all selected, obviously not all riders, and I think they were doing it all around the country as well at the same time. So people are requesting ice cream. Drivers, I mean, I don't know, I wasn't informed or given a chance even really to deliver these ice creams. So, you know, they've had ice creams. I think also on the email there was a link to how the drivers could have got an ice cream as well. You know, I did press the link, actually, it just went somewhere else. And I'll probably figured out that, you know, you're far better off just going to a local Tesco or something, you know, and buying ice cream rather than, you know, trying to get one from Uber. So that was it. Onto the newsletter. They saying there's a new layout on your statement. I couldn't tell the difference. You know, it probably is a new one. You know, as I said, you know, I didn't notice anything really. They went on to rant about how good the meeting with the GM was. You know, obviously they enjoyed it. Probably not all the drivers, but you know, I could have told you that anyway. They was going to enjoy it anyway. You know, and the other thing, my MPV this week, I did get the rating of 4.84, but I didn't make the 90 jobs, which you also need to do to qualify for the MPV for this week. So missed out on that one. You know, I ain't bothered anymore, to be honest with you. You know, was receiving 50 quid for flipping, you know, 5 MPVs on your bronze award. You know, it's turned me off really, to be honest with you. You know, so that's that. Okay, quickly, I wanted to discuss about this court case they're having on the 20th of July 2016. And what I wanted to say was basically, for all the drivers out there, all the black cabs, all the local bases, you know, I think we really need to stand with Uber here for them to succeed. And I also think, you know, people who are taking the, I mean, I don't know if these are Uber drivers that are taking these claims to this tribunal they're having, or the legal hearing, whatever it is they're having next week. You know, I don't think they really actually thought about what implication this actual hearing could have if Uber were to lose the case. You know, and I mean, this case is really just to determine is if Uber are, you know, what they're saying is basically Uber are not providing the basic working right. Now, if you've been in this trade for a while, like I have been, to be honest, none of your local bases or anything provide you with your basic work rights, as the saying goes. You know, they're going to fight against minimum wage. So they're saying, look, you know, as these people are employed by Uber, and Uber saying no, they're not employed, they're self-employed. So they're arguing, look, you know, they need to have minimum wage, they need to have holidays, you know, and them two things alone, you'll see, I'll explain why it is so complicated, and why, you know, a lot of these local bases will become, you know, virtually overnight, you know, dinosaurs really. You know, because if they were to win that case, you know, this will apply to local taxi bases to provide drivers with minimum wage, with holidays, and you know, and I know for a fact that is not going to happen. These local bases just haven't got the capacity or the money to give, you know, to promise them sort of, you know, minimum wages and holidays. And you also know which company can provide that, and that is obviously Uber, with the amount of cash stacked away, you know, for these kind of things. So I don't know, you know, if people are doing this rightly or wrongly, but I do have a very, you know, sort of a feeling that if Uber were to lose this, you know, we could see the end of all local bases, you know, overnight. You know, and even with black cabs and everything, you know, they're fighting things like, you know, the health and safety. They're going to argue that drivers are working so many hours, they're, you know, they're putting themselves at risk, which I agree with, to be fair with you. You know, there should be some sort of a limit on how that thing works. But, you know, with the black cabs, you know, you could, you know, they could have ending up with, you know, tackle like these lorries have, or them, you know. So, but you know what I'm trying to say is, you know, there could be a big shift of how, you know, everything, you know, if this court case does not go in favor of Uber. So let's hope, you know, it does. I mean, if they win, I don't think, you know, much changes, but if they lose, I think the whole industry will, you know, turn, and there will be one winner, and that will be Uber, and they will then make sure that, you know, you know, with all these algos and programming, you know, everything about Uber is all, you know, how algo works. They could work out how much a driver is going to, you know, they'll work out how much, you know, driver, how that actual thing could work, you know, work out minimum wage and everything, so you don't come back to them and say, look, I haven't earned enough this week, and if you did, you know, they'll just give you the 30 quid, you know. That's just, they could afford to do it. So, you know, I hope everybody understands how this tribunal will affect every single Uber drivers and private hire drivers all around the UK, you know. And so that's about it really, you know. I hope you enjoy the video. It's probably a bit late this week I posted, but, you know, I don't know. Anyway, happy driving, and safe driving as well. Thank you very much. Bye now.